The first product is the El Jimador Reposado. Now here is what the current packaging for El Jimador looks like, but soon the brand will have a new package change for the entire brand. I've gotten the opportunity to see what the new packaging looks like, and it looks really, really good. It looks really clean. I'll put a picture up on the screen, but for now, here's what the brand looks like. But for now, here's what the packaging looks like. And then you can see the embossing of the El Jimador here. And again, the current packaging doesn't look bad, but the new packaging looks really good, really premium. If you're unfamiliar with El Jimador Tequila, it is the lower brand to Herradura Tequila, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's a tequila distilled from 100% Blue Weber agave, and it's meant to be an entry-level tequila in terms of both price point and flavor profile compared to its premium or super premium sister brand, Herradura. El Jimador was created in 1996 and is one of the 10 largest tequila brands by volume in the world. And the whole point behind the brand was to make a 100% agave tequila available to the masses, providing a pretty good bang for your buck tequila at a price point that was very accessible and very inclusive to all drinkers. And because of its price point and flavor profile, this is an ideal product for mixing and for cocktails. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about Reposado tequilas, and so the El Jimador Reposado was aged 2 months in charred American white oak barrels. The most important brand facts for this product is the El Jimador Reposado is double distilled from 100% Blue Weber agave, and it is aged 2 months in charred American white oak barrels. All right, let's give it a taste. I have a brand new bottle here. I'm going to be referencing the official tasting notes from the brand. So the color is described as light, warm amber. I think it's a pretty accurate color description, especially for a Reposado at this price point. The aroma is described as cooked agave with notes of cinnamon and vanilla. I would say it's a really nice nose. Relatively subtle, but I think very representative of this price point. And again, we'll kind of reference pricing at the end. I would say this is a very accurate aroma description. There's a nice pronounced flavor of cooked agave while also having those kind of secondary flavors of vanilla and cinnamon that you're getting from the barrel. They're very well integrated. I would say the agave is definitely still the dominant flavor, but those barrel flavors are relatively pronounced secondary flavors, and they provide a nice supporting aroma. The taste on the palate is described as vanilla and spiced with balanced citrus and a hint of caramel. So let's give it our first taste. This is going to be bottled at 80 proof for 40% ABV. This is the first spirit I've had on my palate today, but the alcohol is pretty well integrated. Vanilla and spice. I would say the vanilla and spice are definitely the dominant flavors on the palate. I'm still getting a little alcohol, but again, this is my first sip of any spirit today, so that might just, that might not be reflective of the product itself. Vanilla and spice. I'm not quite getting the citrus flavors, maybe a little bit of caramel. There's definitely barrel flavors there, and there's definitely agave flavors there. I think the second sip is going to be very revealing. So let's go ahead and revisit this. Oh yeah, a lot more flavor on that second sip. The booze or the alcohol is almost non-existent. Nothing but tequila flavor. My mouth has become accustomed and acclimated to the alcohol. So I'm definitely getting vanilla and spice. I could see some very subtle citrus, but it's really not pronounced. And a hint of caramel. I'm not quite getting the caramel barrel flavors. I would say it's pretty linear with those kind of vanilla and spice flavors. Again, I think this product is very representative of a well-done entry-level 100% agave tequila. The flavors are enjoyable. They're pretty well integrated, but nothing stands out. No flavor really outshines the others, and nothing is really kind of overly noteworthy or remarkable. The finish is described as lingering hints of caramel. I would say that more or less is true. I would say it's got a very short finish, and I would say the finish is more along the notes of barrel flavors as opposed to a kind of finish of cooked agave. So again, the flavor profile of this product is relatively simple, and the flavors are kind of one-dimensional and very linear, and that's not a knock on this product. I think this product, again, is very representative of its price point. We'll talk about price here in a second, where the flavors are enjoyable. There are agave flavors here, there are barrel flavors here, but they're all relatively subtle, and it's almost like they're toned down a little bit. A lot of people want to know what's the difference between the El Jimador brand and the Herradura brand if they're both owned by the same company and produced at the same distillery, but are two remarkably different price points. And I have been told by employees from Brown-Forman that every part of the production process remains the same except the agaves used for Herradura in traditional stone and brick ovens, whereas the agave for the El Jimador brand is cooked in an autoclave, which is obviously going to be faster. It's going to be more cost effective, which is going to allow the parent company Brown-Forman to hit a very specific price point for this product. Again, the El Jimador brand is going to be very much reliant on hitting a target price point that is meant to be entry level and is meant to be accessible and inclusive to a wide variety of drinkers, whereas the Herradura brand is a super premium brand, is a more or less a luxury brand, and is going to be catered to more affluent consumers and consumers that have perhaps a more advanced tequila palate and bigger expectations for their tequila. All right, let's talk about price. So I'm based here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I'm going to be quoting average retail price for my home market of Oklahoma, but please check your local liquor store for accurate pricing. Products are priced differently in every single market. So in my home market, a 750 milliliter bottle of the El Jimador Reposado is going to retail somewhere between $24 and $25. And do I think that's worth the money? I definitely do. As I mentioned earlier, I think this product is very representative of its price point, and so I think this product is worth $24 to $25 for a Reposado tequila. If I remember correctly, I believe the El Jimador Silver and the El Jimador Reposado are line priced. So again, they're not upcharging you for the 2 months in barrel. And as I've mentioned before, I am a Reposado drinker. I think it's a nice sweet spot if you want a little bit of influence from the barrel, but mostly primary agave flavors. So again, it's that kind of Goldilocks tequila for me. So for $24 to $25, I think this product is definitely worth the money. And this is, a pretty accessible price point for 100% agave tequila. I'm filming this in May 2025, so I'm going to be quoting potential pre-tariff pricing. I don't know what the world entails when it comes to imports from Mexico, particularly potential tariffs on tequila. So I'm quoting pre-tariff pricing. But for $24 or $25, I think the El Jimador Reposado is definitely worth the money. And I think if you're looking for an entry-level 100% agave tequila, or perhaps a tequila that you're going to be making mixed drinks and cocktails, I think this product would be absolutely perfect for that occasion. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something. Please give this video a like and consider subscribing. If you'd like to be notified whenever I have new content on my website or this YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to my email newsletter. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you do not care about the video component of these reviews and brand educations, please consider subscribing to my podcast. It's just the audio material from these videos, and it's available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Podcasts. It's available anywhere you consume your podcasts. If you would like to support this channel further, please consider becoming a Patreon member or gift me a cocktail to the link below in the description. Thank you so much again for your support. If you have feedback about this video or about this channel, please leave me a comment or shoot me an email. I really value the feedback I get. I've adapted some of my video styles specifically because of some of the feedback I received. If you have a question, you can always leave me a comment, but you can also shoot me an email if you have a more detailed question. I personally read every single email that I receive, and I do my best to respond to all of them. I will leave my email below in the description. And also, if you are a supplier and you're interested in seeing one of your brands presented on this channel, please shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to have that conversation. Thank you so much again for watching, and as always, please drink responsibly.